comeliness. And then what it say? And there is no beauty that we should desire him. So you wouldn't been able to lust after him just looking at him. All right, come on, bro.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not.
So despised and rejected of men. I mean, if you really in this walk, you know how that feel. People despise you, reject what you teaching. Huh? Come on now. So that kills that Ned Flander. Everybody love Jesus Christ. Diddly do, neighbor spirit. Diddly do, neighbors. That killed that. Not a man that is despised and rejected of men. Then it says a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. That means he knew grief by the first name. Huh? He was on first name basis with grief. That show you, man, he wasn't walking around that spirit that they try to pump in that church today, man, the so-called church. Because the church is the body of believers, not the building. So he wasn't in that spirit. You feel me? If you a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief and despised and rejected, bro, you was an angry brother. You feel me? Ain't too many people down with you. Come on, bro.
Verse 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions.
So what king you know that was wounded for our transgressions? If it ain't the Messiah spoken of in that New Testament. Who? Who was wounded for your crimes against his Father? He was wounded for our transgressions. For you non-messianics, this can't be talking about Israel. That he ain't Israel. Our is Israel. He, the Messiah, was wounded for our, Israel's, transgressions. Come on, bro.
He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him.
Chastisement. Come on, bro.
And with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way. And the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken.
For the transgression of my people. The people was Israel. Was he stricken? Come on, bro.
And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. No
deceit or any guile in his mouth. Let's go identify that this is talking about the Messiah, and not Isaiah wasn't speaking of himself. All right, 1 Peter chapter 2, bro. 1 Peter chapter 2, 21 to 25. You're going to have a hard time, you non-messianics. You're going to have a hard time proving only with the Old Testament who these scriptures are talking about. This solidifies the Messiah as the Messiah. This solidifies him as the Messiah. Because all the prophecies of old spoke about him and his life, his ministry, his walk, his death, resurrection, all prophesied, man. And his return. His return is in the Old Testament as well. All prophesied. Prophecy is the declaration of something or declaring events before they happen in frighteningly accurate details. You see that? All right, 1 Peter chapter 2, 21 to 25. All right.
You said verse 21 through 25?
Yes, yeah, 1 Peter 2, 21 to 25.
All right, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 20. 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye shall follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
We just read that in Isaiah 53 and 9. There was not even any deceit in his mouth. Come on, bro.
Who, when he was reviled, raveled not again.
Reviled not again. Come on.
When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judged righteously. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness. By those stripes ye were healed.
By whose stripes ye were healed. Didn't we read that in Isaiah 53 Verse 4. He was wounded for our transgressions, by whose stripes you were healed. Come on, bro.
For ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
Let's grab John chapter 12. John chapter 12. See, that verse 21 said, Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his steps. You see that? So that Isaiah 53 is talking about Christ. Let's get another witness on that, though. John chapter 12, 37. John chapter 12, 37 to 50. Don't let nobody put that vibration on you as if the new writings of the New Testament is false, man. Don't let nobody put that vibration. Don't be catching spirits out here. You better guard your grill in the spiritual warfare. You feel me? You look up and you'll be a non-messianic. And there's a brother on YouTube used to be going hard for the Messiah. Now he a non-messianic. Sounding crazy out here, man. Huh? And look, if you done came into this and then you done fell off according to Hebrews 6, you can't even get back in. No man speaking by the Spirit calleth Christ a curse, man. No man. John chapter 12, bro. 37 on down.
John chapter 12, verse 37. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. That the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled.
The saying of Isaiah, which is Isaiah, the prophet, might be fulfilled. See that? The New Testament is quoting the Old Testament. Come on, bro.
Which he spake, Lord, who hath believed our report, and to whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed.
That's Isaiah 53 and 1. That's how it started out. But who is this talking about? Who is the he that was wounded for our transgressions? For the transgressions of my people was he stricken. Who was that? Come on, bro.
Therefore they could not believe. Because that Isaiah said again, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them.
Y'all write down and read Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. You see that? You spend so much time rebelling and going against the Most High. And his plan that he got established, he'll blind you. He'll turn you over to a reprobate mind. You feel me? So after this, if you non-messianics can't get it, hey, we already know you blind, and you blinded for your destruction. Because it's airtight. It's airtight. If you can't see it, that means it ain't even meant for you to see. And that you're going to be destroyed from among the people. That's what that means. Alright, come on, bro.
Verse 41.
Yeah.
These things said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him.
See? Come on.
Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue.
Because of the Pharisees, they ain't even want to confess him. They had more respect for the praise of men than the praise of God, man. You feel me? You don't want to accept Christ because you'll lose friends on Facebook, in other words. Man, get on somewhere with that, man. You feel me? Ain't here to be liked by nobody anyway. Here to handle the business of the Heavenly Father. That's what we out here to do, man. Come on, bro.
For they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. Jesus cried and said, he that believed on me, believe not on me, but on him that sent me.
See, Christ put it out there. He's like, look, if you believe on me, you believe on him that sent me. That's another chop for you non-messianics. Talking about we into idol worship. No, we ain't, bruh. Not at all. We worship the Most High by following the example of his flawless son. The Christ who's spoken of in these scriptures right here from my Hebrew brothers, Yahushua and Mashiach. That's how you worship the Father, man. By believing on the one that he sent, and then by doing that, you believing on the Father. That just chopped your whole false accusations you just was putting on the comment board. That just chopped all that. Come on, bro.
And he that seeth me seeth him that sent me. I am come a light unto the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I am not to judge the world, but to save. I came not to judge the world, but to save the world.
But to save, his whole mission is to save the world, save his people. But you don't want the salvation that the Father sent. That's what Yehoshua or Yahushai means. Salvation of the Father, Yah. Or Yahweh. Come on, bro.
He that rejected me and received not my words, have one that judges him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day.
See that? The word I have spoken is going to judge you. Come on, bro.
For I have not spoken of myself.
He ain't speak of what?
I have not spoken of myself.
He didn't come speaking words that just popped into his mind. He ain't come doing his own thing, in other words. Come on, bro.
But the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak.
See, so you going against the Father. Because, like we read in that Deuteronomy 18, I'm going to put my words in his mouth and he going to speak all that I command him. And if you don't listen to the words that I put in his mouth, you're going to be destroyed from among your people, man. I'm going to require it of him. You rebelling, man. Humble down. You rebelling. Humble down and accept the gospel, man. Accept the Messiah. Because he was sent by the Father on high. All right, come on now.
And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even the Father said unto me, so I speak.
Flat out. So let's grab one more for this, Acts chapter 8, and we're gonna be off to the next Old Testament prophecy about the Messiah. Remember, we started off the testimony of Jesus, or Yahushai, is the spirit of prophecy. All right, Acts chapter 8, we're gonna start at verse 26, brother. We're going to read on down.
Acts chapter 8, verse 26.
Yes, sir.
And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise, and go toward the south unto the way that goeth down to Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority under Candace queen of Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for the worship, was returning and sitting in his chariot reading Isaiah the prophet.
So he's reading Isaiah, the prophet, that Old Testament you love to be in. Well, what was he reading? And who was there? And what was Isaiah prophesying about? Or who was he prophesying about? Come on, bro.
Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest thou which thou readest?
So Philip, one of the 12 disciples, asked the Ethiopian eunuch, do you understand what you read? Come on, brother.
And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me?
See, like, how can I understand what I'm reading unless somebody come and break this down for me? How? Huh? Come on, bro.
And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture which he read was this. He was led as a sheep to the slaughter.
Sheep to the slaughter.
He was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth.
That's Isaiah 53:7. Didn't we read that? Mm-hmm. Come on, bro.
In his humiliation, his judgment was taken away. And who shall declare his generation? For his life taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this? Of himself or of some other man?
No, the eunuch won't understand it. He's like, well, who is he talking about? Is he talking about himself? Or is he talking about another man? What did Philip, being one of the 12, respond? How did he reply? Come on, bro.
Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Jesus.
See that? He went to that Isaiah 53 and showed him how that lines up with Jesus the Christ, Yahushai of Nazareth. Huh? So if Isaiah 53 ain't talking about the Christ, what precept you got in the Old Testament to prove it? Come on, bro.
And as they went on their way, they came into a certain water. And the eunuch said, See, here is water. What doth hinder me to be baptized?
He's asking, like, what's going to stop me or hinder me from being baptized? Here's water. What is Philip's reply? Come on.
And Philip said, If thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest.
If you believe with all your heart, you can. Come on, we can go on down to the muddy Mississippi and get dunked, if that's what it is. You feel? But understand the baptism of spirit and fire as well, man. You got to understand that as well. All right, come on, bro.
And he answered and said, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
Now, I believe he's the Son of God. So he was like, look, if you believe, you can. All right, come on.
And he commanded the chariot to stand still. And they went down both into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized them. And when they were come out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, and the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way rejoicing. But Philip was found at Azotus, and passing through he preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea.
Let's go to Psalms 110. Psalms 110. I asked you this on the comment board as well. Well, who was David speaking of in Psalms the 110th chapter? You quote 1 Peter 3 and 15 to me, which says always be ready to give an answer. What you doing quoting Peter in the New Testament? You don't believe in the New Testament. What are you doing? Oh, so no answer. Psalms 110, bro.
Psalms 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
So the question is, if David is the king of Israel, the highest man in the earth at this point, because the Most High himself was dealing with David, who is the Lord that's sitting next to the Father on high? Until his enemies be made his footstool, until he tread the winepress and the fierceness of the Almighty God. Who is that? Whose vesture gonna be drenched in blood? Who is that? That's sitting on the right hand of the Father. He ain't come and say, all right, Pops, your time up. I'm taking your throne. No, he's sitting at the right hand of the Almighty on high. And David, who lived 1,000 years before the Messiah even came in the flesh through the Spirit, already knew that the Messiah was sitting on the right hand of the Father. David would slap the taste out your mouth talking like that. Come on, bro.
The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies.
So Christ is coming out of Zion. Another code for Israel. Then it says, rule thou in the midst of your enemies. Make no mistake about it. Christ got enemies. Then that makes us that follow him. We got enemies. Come on, bro.
Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauty of thy holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Not the order of Aaron. That's what a lot of you brothers under that letter of the law. We under the spirit of the law, the order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek means king of righteousness. Order, teachings, way, law, instructions of the king of righteousness. That's what we under. And that's the same order Abraham was under, because the Levitical priesthood wasn't even set up to after we came out of Egypt, man. That's the schoolmaster.
That's right.
It was all a foreshadowing of us getting back to the faith of Abraham, because before Abraham ever had an outward sign showing he was down with the Most High, he was worshiping the Most High in spirit and truth. His heart was circumcised already, man. That's the order we under. Y'all brothers is too caught up in this outer cup, as if you gonna get you some points for having you a garment on in the land of your captivity. Nobody rocking garments 24/7, man. Is you serious? You brothers ain't going to sleep with garments on and taking a boo-boo with garments on and going to your job with garments on. Stop that. Stop that. You ain't doing that. You feel me? It ain't about the outer cup or the outward man anymore. It's about the inward man. Romans 7 and 22, we rejoice in the law of God after the inward man, bro. Paul was a Pharisee and had all the letter of the law down, and he still called himself a wretched man. He still was killing those that was following the Messiah. So the Messiah showed up to him and blinded them. You brothers are stuck under the schoolmaster and saying, oh, you brothers going off. I don't see a full beard on your face. Oh, you brothers going off. You trimmed up. Man, bruh, how many brothers in long garments, phylacteries, fringes, and long beards was yelling, crucify the Messiah? You answer me that. And thinking you justified for an outer cup. Come on, bruh, let's pass all that, bruh.
Pull it 1 Samuel out.
Yeah, we'll pull it after this. You're right. That's a good one. Come on, bro.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath.
So whoever at the right hand of the Father is going to be striking through kings in the day of his wrath. This is about his return, bro. It said the Lord at your right hand. Sit thou at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. So who's ever sitting at the right hand of the Father is going to be getting order from the Father to drop the kings of the earth. It's right here. You want to know where it's prophesied at? Right here in what you call the Old Testament. The Tanakh. Come on, bro.
He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries.
You're going to wound the heads over many countries. It's all your presidents, your kings, your ayatollahs, your prime ministers, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all the banking families, the 13 bloodline, the Illuminati. He coming for your head. You think they ain't read this and don't know? So who is this talking about? Come on, bro.
He shall drink of the brook in the way, therefore shall he lift up the head.
Let's go to Matthew 22. Who was this talking about? Matthew 22, 41 to 46. Time for brothers to get serious with this thing, man. You gonna start seeing stuff your mind ain't even prepared for, man. They talking about a zombie apocalypse out here. Men are snapping out, stripping naked, eating each other. Huh? That's why I'm saying, watch what you putting in your body. You better watch. You feel me? What they talking about, old boy that shut up the Navy, the Navy Yard, the woman that ran through the barricade supposedly in Washington, D.C. and on Capitol Hill. Everybody lately, and all these people so-called been some of our people. But when you get into the research, all these people been on psychotrope. They've all been on medication that got to do with their mental, their psyche. You see what I'm saying? So, man, you about to start seeing some things, man. They got fiber optic cables ran all through this deal, man. Y'all look up Project Bluebeam and all that stuff that's supposed to be happening. If you brothers ain't really ready to start the war up here in your mind, you going to be off. Ain't no government going to protect you from that, man. You going to be off. You about to start seeing the spiritual world manifest right in front of your eyes. And if you ain't even ready, if you don't got on the armor of God, you going to be done.
You got Christ for your covering.
You going to be done. Talking about you got you a garment on. And everybody draws made in China. So you off anyway. What you doing making a covenant with Moab? You off anyway. Man, when the brothers was in captivity, when we was under the Persian captivity, it says that Esther hid her kindred. Was the Lord mad at her for that? No. Joseph was dressed like an Egyptian, man. First thing he did when he got out of prison, what did he do? He shaved. That's his Lord. He shaved. Was the Lord mad at him for that? Huh? Daniel in Babylon, the third man in the rank. Of course he was dressed like a Babylonian. Was the Lord mad? Man, showing you can still worship the Most High in spirit and in truth in the land of your captivity. Because ain't nobody keeping the law to the letter. Ain't none of y'all got 613 laws written on the doorpost of your heart. Huh? But under this order of Melchizedek that we under, this law is spiritual now, man. It's spiritual. So instead of writing them on the doorpost of your heart, the doorpost of your crib, you write them on the doorpost of your heart, which is your mind. Keep these things in memory. All right, come on, bro. Matthew 22, 41 through 46.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They say unto him, the son of David. He said unto them, How then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, Lord, the Lord, say unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool.
We just read that in Psalms 110th chapter, the first verse, man. So who was David talking about? Christ cleared it up and said he was talking about me. He's talking about Christ, the anointed. That's who's at the right hand of the Father, and even the Old Testament King David knew that, man. But you don't know that. Come on, bro.
If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word. Neither does any man from that day forth ask him any more questions.
Okay, Hebrews 7. Hebrews 7. Then we off to the next Old Testament prophet. Hebrews 7. Start at verse 11.